Hello everyone, this is Pat with Angel Divination, putting together a sort of a weekend reading and oracle card reading message, even though I missed getting it out yesterday. But this is I'm doing it today, the 29th of July, 2012. But it's kind of a weekend reading leading into the week and stuff like that. So I will still be calling on the Magical Fairies Oracle Card deck by Doreen Virtue. And I'll probably pick an Archangel card and maybe a medicine, pardon me, an animal medicine card. I know that one from the owl from Friday was very powerful for me. So anyways, been having some technical difficulties, and there were cards that have already come out for today. So I'm going to continue going with those cards. Since this is my second and hopefully my final attempt to upload and do this video. So the first card that came out from the fairies today was do some research. And the message on the card says, you need more information about this situation. Look into it further before proceeding. And as we look at this card, even though the fairy's kind of sitting on top of some books, I don't initially get the sense this is about physical research, that we might do on, by looking in books or on the internet. I feel it has to do with maybe there's a situation, a disruptive situation that's occurred around you, either in a personal relationship or in your working environment, or just in something that you deal with on a day-to-day basis, something maybe disruptive, and you need to go have a conversation with someone. Maybe you've felt the need to really speak up about it. What I feel what this card is saying to you is, make sure you have all your facts before you go and do that. It's always really important to definitely speak your truth to someone and to speak up and express your feelings. But sometimes before we do that, we need to make sure that we have all of our facts in place. So when I look at this card today, I feel like some of you may need to go have conversations with people to get a clearer understanding of exactly what took place. It's a little bit of investigation on your part to get a better understanding of what's, the whole picture, what's really gone on. So it definitely speaks to that, okay? And in some ways, I also do feel it does speak in some ways to doing also some actual physical research, looking up in books, looking up on the internet, just in regards to, if there's anything that you're looking to buy, if there's some new a company that's made you an offer for a career opportunity, someone new that you're going to do business with, make sure you do a little investigation. Google them on the internet, look into the Better Business Bureau, do a little research that way. It's a time of Mercury retrograde, and what that means, as I've mentioned before, is that sometimes there's just elements of information that are missing or that you're not completely aware of when you first go into something. That's why they say it's not a good time to necessarily buy electronics or to sign contracts or things like that, because there are pieces of information that can be missing. It doesn't mean you can't sign a contract. I mean, I've certainly done it in a Mercury retrograde time before, signed a lease, signed a contract, and it didn't turn out badly. It just sometimes it just needed to be redone. That's all. Or aspects of it, needed to be corrected and needed to be re-signed or something. So, just know that that can take place. It's not that necessarily that people have purposely kept out information, although that can happen too. It's just a matter of, being real thorough in your investigation and making sure it's a correct and that it feels right to you before you move forward on it. Okay? So that's what this card is, at least that's the message that I get around it. And I did get a quick hit earlier that it may speak to some of you who are investigating cars, especially like those that are hybrids, that because there's a lot more of them out now than just the the Toyota Prius, which was the big one that was out for a long time. But there's a lot of other ones now, and to really investigate some of the long-term things of that, and or just whatever car you're looking to buy, make sure you're doing your homework, essentially, is what this card is about. So that was the first card that came out. Excuse me, I get a very allergy-related cough, and there's a lot of stuff in the air right now. This card that came out is admit your true feelings to yourself. Be honest with yourself. Only you know what it is that you truly desire. So, getting back to the intuitive hit I got earlier about there may be a situation around you that disrupted, maybe there was a breakdown in a relationship or some disturbing situation that may have gone on. This, and the fairies urged you to look into all aspects of it before you go and have a conversation with someone. I know in personal relationships, people tend to really come out with, we need to talk, and that's certainly very important. This is just saying do some research first, and part of that research has to do with inner research. Now, as I'm looking at this card, some of it is talking to other people about, to get the facts of what transpired in their experience. Make sure you're not, when I speak to about talking to other people, it isn't necessarily to get approval for how you feel. It was really more about you may need to talk to other people to get an understanding of what they thought transpired if they were involved in the situation or the breakdown. Okay, it isn't about going to other people to bounce your perspective off of them to get their approval. Okay, not that there's anything wrong with going to a therapist or someone to discuss your feelings, but this is about looking within and seeing how, admitting to yourself how you really feel about it. Okay, acknowledging your feelings to yourself is hugely important. You don't have to share it with anybody else if you don't want to. You could write it in a journal or just keep it to yourself. And the fairy hair is out in nature because that's really a great place. If you have a quiet place around you by the water or just out in nature where you can be quiet in your mind, it's perfect for that. And you can ask the fairy, the nature angels, and spirits to help you with it. And sometimes being by a pool of calm water is perfect for times of reflection, because the water reflects back to you. So, this is about being your own decision maker in terms of how do you feel about it, and, that's going to determine your course of action. Okay? It's important to understand before you have a conversation with someone else about your relationship, your friendship, what have you, it's important to understand what your own feelings are. And if those feelings have changed, to be able to say, you know what, just real honestly, not meanly or in a judging or blaming way, but just say, you know what, my feelings have changed about this relationship. And, either I need to move on or, whatever the case may be, or just go on in a different way. That could be it too. So, real strong messages from the fairies this weekend. And let's see if there's an archangel who's overseeing all of this. Okay. Because we can always call on the wonderful archangels for help. Beloved archangels, who's working with us? Okay. Aha. So this is Jophiel with Clear Your Space. And the messages from the fairies do very much resonate with this, because they're with their messages, they're helping you to clear the space in your mind and get the clutter out of the way so you can be very truthful and authentic to be able to move forward. So, but Jophiel's message is both about helping you to get rid of the mind clutter in terms of also any negative ways you may speak to yourself, and it's also about removing the physical clutter. Okay, the physical clutter from around you. And Jophiel's, if you look at the picture of her hair, her eyes are upward, and she's got her arms open wide, and she really helps us to uplift our thoughts, our feelings, our attitudes, especially towards ourselves. And she helps us really to. She's an angel of beauty, and appreciate the beauty around us. So she is helping us to clear out the space in our life. And, when disturbing events happen, okay, in our relationships or, in our day-to-day life, um, it forces us to kind of do some of that clearing out in terms of looking at shining the light in our relationships. Who are we interacting with, and are those relationships really serving us anymore? So it's in this situation, Jophiel's coming in with this is about clearing out your life, because archangels are the overseers um, of the guardian angels and the fairies and things like that. So they kind of, in this situation, they give us the overview of what's going on. And to me, that's what these messages from the fairies are about. It's about clearing the space in your life. Because as you allow and let go of these old situations and, physical clutter, relationships, it allows wonderful new things to come in for you. It allows the changes that you've been wanting to happen. So, take heart, be brave, ask the angels to walk with you through it, and you will be very much divinely guided. So, um, gosh, we're at 11 minutes already. I think I'll save the animal medicine card for tomorrow. And I want to thank you all for joining me today. I hope you're having a lovely weekend. And I look forward to speaking with you again very soon. And I'll try my best to maybe get a reading up a little bit earlier for going into Monday in the week. So take care, everyone. Have a great day.